number 17. Please welcome the technical officials. The umpire of the match, Rohana de Silva, Sri Lanka. And the service judge, Kelvin Martin, Barbados.
So the first of our 5 matches completed, and the home fans very happy after that first match. Will they be happy after the second as well, because it does feature Indonesians, Gideon, Markus, Fernaldi and Kevin Sanjaya, Sukamuljo up against the world number 1s, Yeon and Yeon. Then we'll have women's doubles, then men's singles featuring the 2-time Olympic champion, Lindan. And then the last of our matches, Saina Nehwal, who was in 4 consecutive finals here. 3 times she won the title, looking to beat the young Indonesian Fitriani.
And now, please welcome from Korea, Yeon.
The world number 1s, the former champions here, won the title 2 years ago, breaking Indonesian hearts at the final stage 2 years ago because they beat Muhammad Hassan and Hendra Setiawan. But here the youngsters, Gideon, Markus, Fernaldi and Kevin Sanjaya, Sukamuljo. Oh, what an exciting young pair they are. Last week in the world ranking, they went up to a career high 12, and they swapped places with a very well-known Indonesian pair, Pratama and Suwadi. So now this young Indonesian pair are the 2nd-ranked Indonesians behind the world champions, Muhammad Hassan and Hendra Setiawan. So that a big status for them. Of course, they played and were nominated as the 3rd ranked pair in the recent Thomas Cup campaign. And as the 3rd pair, they didn't play all matches because there's only 2 men's doubles in Thomas Cup. And of course, Indonesia lost in the Thomas Cup final to Denmark. First time ever winners, Denmark, of the Thomas Cup in their 9th final, having lost 8 previous finals. Well, here's Yu Young-sung, 29-year-old from Gyeongnup near Jeongju. World number 1. But they're only number 4 on the Super Series standings, I can tell you. 3 Super Series played prior to this. This is the 5th event of the year. And 3 semi-finals. As indeed, they were semi-finalists here last year. Lost out to their teammates, Go Suk-hyun and Shin Bet-cho. And of course, it is that Korean pair who awaits the winner of the 2nd round encounter. Well, in their first match, the Koreans beat Pratama and Suwadi, the Indonesian pair, who this pair have just climbed above in the world ranking. Well, Sukamuljo is actually 20 years of age. In fact, in a couple of months, he's going to be 21. born in Banyuwangi. Gideon, Markus, Fernaldi. 25 years of age, born in Jakarta. And he did reach a career high of 8 with Markus Gideon, with whom he reached the quarter-final here 2 years ago. And of course, with Markus Gideon, won the French Super Series as qualifiers. Well, this will be the third meeting between the two pairs. The previous 2 occasions have been won by the Koreans. And both in 2 games. Last time they met was in the quarter-final of the Hong Kong Super Series last year. Just 38 minutes. Umpire Rana de Silva from Sri Lanka. Kelvin Martin from Barbados is our service judge. Well, one would think with the head-to-head and with their world #1 status that the Koreans should be favourite for this, but the Indonesians playing in Indonesia are very tough cookies, aren't they? Because with the home fans' support, they all seem to raise their games.
Yeah, they do, and at least have this match as a bit closer than a 2-game match we saw in Hong Kong, 16 and 11. I think we could definitely be treated with a deciding game here.
Sanjaya, Sukamuljo, Markus Fernando Gideon, Indonesia. Markus Fernando Gideon to serve to Lee Yong-dae, low ball. Play.
So the Indonesians far side of the court as we look down. Now, if you haven't watched this young Indonesian pair before, keep an eye on Kevin Sanjaya Sukamuljo. He's the man about to receive serve. He's so fast. He's one of those players that goes for outrageous shots that you don't even think are possible. He's great to watch. I bet from a coach's point of view, you probably get a little bit frustrated sometimes with players like that, but I love it.
Yeah, but I think so. The coaches do as well, because I mean, if you are to win on a world stage, you got to have something special. You got to have a player who dares to go for the shots that are a little bit more clever or risky than other players do. You can't just play safe.
No.
Actually, I think Sukamuljo reminds me a lot of Zhang Siwei, the young Chinese player who's also making a case for himself in world badminton right now. Very, very fast players, both of them.
Yeah. Very interesting here in this event, Steve, that Zhang Siwei, who you've just mentioned, has got a new men's doubles partner in the form of Lu Kai.
Yeah. So Liu Cheng apparently only playing the mixed doubles. I wonder if that's a sign that they are going to be selected ahead of Xu Chen and Ma Jin for the Olympics, but we'll have to wait a while to see who the Chinese team will select for that.
Yeah. Told you it was quick. Look at it. Covering everything at the nets. And I thought that the Indonesians really had a breakthrough at the beginning of the year, Steen. 2 titles, they won the Malaysian Grand Prix gold, but more importantly for their status, their first ever Super Series title in India. And I think that's made a big difference to them psychologically.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, to win a Super Series, that's sort of stamps your mark in your career, and you can, in many ways, you can be satisfied with your career should you not reach higher than a Super Series win. If you don't win medals for your country, of course, that might be the ultimate goal, but if you win a Super Series, you definitely had a fantastic level in badminton. I think we saw during the Thomas Cup just a week ago, we saw how much the European title meant to the Dane Victor Axelsen in sort of leading his country, my country as well, in the first men's singles. He was a totally different player.
Yeah.
So let's see if the Indonesians can capitalize on that and the home advantage here.
Gone long.
Yeah.
Well, Lee Yong-dae has been in 5 finals here at the Indonesia Open. 4 men's doubles, 1 mixed doubles. 3 times he's won the men's doubles, because I've mentioned that he and his partner of today won 2 years ago, but he also won in 2009 and 2012 with Seong.
Service over. 4.
Yeah, that's actually more or less remarkable results, because we sometimes tend to think of the Koreans as a bit defensive men's doubles players, but the thing is that they just have a really solid defense, but of course they can play the attack as well. Complete doubles players.
Oh, it's called out. There's a challenge here. Challenge from the Koreans.
You want to challenge?
Oh, I thought the umpire was a little late to raise his left arm as a sign of the challenge have been made.
Risky on the far back line from where you're playing to make the challenge. No, it's going to be out.
Challenge unsuccessful. Service over. 7-4. Lee Yong-dae, producing. 1 challenge remaining.
Line judgment, right. Spinning return.
Service over. 5-7.
Oh, not the best of serves. Well, it came off his racket, surely.
6,
Yeah.
7.
That touched Lee Yong-dae's racket. Umpire didn't call it. Indonesians complained. Well, that's extraordinary. Oh, that's drifted a long way long.
Service over. 8-6.
Oh, and some side drift as well there.
Yeah, I thought in the first of our matches, Steen, I thought as we look down on the court that the drift sideways is going from left to right.
Yeah, I agree.
It's quick movement and quick to see the opportunity from Yeon. My goodness me, that was good play. He's hovering. Look at that. Super.
Of course, that was a sign that the Koreans, they know the Indonesians are reluctant to lift, and that's why Yeon could take such a big chance. Almost standing on the service line. Good call, good call.
Yeah. There's no question it was wide. Indonesians. Well, I can't remember which court they played on yesterday. The Koreans, that is, when they played against the other Indonesian pair, Pratama and Suwadi. Well, you were saying all the courts are different with their drift, and therefore you get used to where it's going on one court. Doesn't necessarily apply if you're on a different court the next day. Oh yes, good work again from Yeon.
10-all.
Oh, back level. Oh, look at that. That is magnificent. The leap in the air, opened his shoulders, looked as if he was going to thunder down the smash. Look at this. And then that delicate little disguised drop. Superb. Yeah, and a nice way to go to the mid-game interval. We've always talked about how deep they are in their defensive stances.
Yeah.
Look at the disguise on that from Sukamuljo.
And I think the placement towards the sideline was also important, because had it been placed in the middle, I think Joe might have caught that one.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Court.
I think he had to try and let it come out of part of the tumble. Sukamuljo.
They actually played on this middle court yesterday, the Koreans. So they should be aware of the conditions here.
Yeah.
The only thing is that we had a slight rain delay yesterday. We had an almost tropical rainstorm, and one of the courts were unusable for half an hour or so, and that caused some changes. But I still think they should be playing on their designated court.
Service over. 12-all.
It's gone long.
Well played, good defense where the Koreans work themselves towards a better and better position. They're not lifting high, trying to lift as flat as possible and come forward. Very, very difficult to survive in this hole with high lifts.
Service over. 13 hole.
Good rally.
Oi!
Take that. The timing on that interception had to be perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Goes down on the floor. Couple of defence. Look at this. Unbelievable. How on earth did he play that? Magnificent.
Service over. 14 hole.
Oh, terrible service, but it tricked
15,
Kevin
14.
Sukamuljo.
I think he cut underneath the shuttle and I think it started to tumble.
Yeah.
No, it's not a hole. Very good.
And because of the tumble, he couldn't control the reply. Oh, we really need to see that again.
Yeah, I think it would have gone much too short, but
Here we go. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's upside down when he tries to
It
hit
is.
it. Now, as long as you're not hitting the feathers before the cork, if you can make the shuttle tumble by cutting under the cork, then that's legal.
that's legal. The question is whether he did touch the cork first. And we can see actually from the position where we are that the service goes a little bit left to right. It's like it turns a little bit. So there's definitely a whole lot of twist in it. Hits the side of the cork.
It's well worked by the Koreans.
And that was 3 quick points, and that might be decisive of this
17,
first game. Good service.
That's a very good service. Oh, it's now 5 straight points.
18, 14.
13-14 down they were. Yeah.
And of course, this game isn't finished yet, but you shouldn't be able to survive in these surroundings. You shouldn't be able to survive a streak of 5 points against the world number ones.
Yeah. They've just lost their way, haven't they,
Yeah.
Indonesians?
And that raises the question, even if you feel that you've sort of been wronged in the service situation, should you use mental energy on discussing it with the referee or whatever, or should you just see it as one of the events, one of the passing events of a badminton match and just play on?
Yeah.
It's always a difficult choice to make, but you've got to ask yourself, back in practice, what suits you best.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is what we mean when we talk about players having experience, and the experience is not allowing those sort of incidents to affect you adversely.
And it's also often a sign of who is more confident on court. The more confident ones seem to not bring up cases like this. They just play on.
Yeah.
I mean, when have we ever seen an umpire suddenly change the ruling and say, oh yes, that was a mistake in the service, I'm glad you pointed it out to me?
No, exactly. Well, there's game point opportunities here, and they convert their first 21-15. 18 minutes of play. Well, I hope the Indonesians can learn from that, because ever since that serve, which they thought was a fault, but it wasn't called, I had my doubts, because I think he chops underneath the cork. And there we go. Confirmation, opening game to the former champions and current world #1s, Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung. 8 of the last 9 points.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that confident about my prediction now for a 3-game match, because I felt that maybe the best chance of the Indonesians of taking a game away from the Koreans was on the far side of the court. Now they have to be really careful with their lifts, but then of course they have no intention of lifting, so they get a little bit more help in their attack. Here's Harry Pamadi is offering some advice to Gideon Fernaldi. Paulus, I think, the other Indonesian coach.
I'm not sure that's Paulus.
First one, 20 seconds. Second game, low ball. Play.
So, second game. Koreans having taken the first. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's going wide.
The side drift.
Yeah.
And you're right, Jill, it wasn't Paulus, the coach in the yellow t-shirt. I just checked with our colleagues from Trans 7 Indonesia. It's Ariono.
Service over. 1 all.
Well, I do think it's important the Indonesians really settle at the start of this second game, because they were definitely upskittled at the end of that first. Yeah, I'm just going to blow your theory to pieces, Steve. There's only one athlete I can think of. There's always an exception to the rule, so isn't there? When you talk about a player getting upset about what they believe is a wrong decision and so on, and it's a sign that they, you know, if you just let it go by, then you've got confidence. It shows that a player's got confidence. The only athlete I can think of that actually played better, with a bit of an argument, Mr. John McEnroe.
Yeah. There's actually a Danish female handballer as well. She also played better when she was a bit upset, and I think it's also we can get into a whole personality discussion here, but if it's a trait that you feel that you over and over again in your life been sort of cheated and so on, then you learn to cope with it.
Service
yeah,
over.
and sort of get the best out in you.
3.
If you feel that's unfair and it's a sudden event that's something strange, unusual is happening, that you're being treated unfairly, I think you have difficulties coping with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, some athletes, they're really, really good at getting fired up by those kind of situations.
Oh, look at that defence. That whole rally, the momentum was turned with that wonderful defensive block across court. Came from Lee Yong-dae. Look at that.
And that last one went under the net.
Yeah, not that you can tell from that overhead camera.
There it comes.
Oh, big gap. Big gap.
Service over. 4. 3.
Well, one moment I was thinking there's a huge gap on the Indonesian side of the court. Yeah, why didn't they hit that one cross court? There was a huge gap there.
Yeah.
Play.
Yeah, done it again. Exactly the same play. Oh, they've challenged. They've challenged this.
Yeon going to challenge. Ball 2.
Well, instinctively, I thought the shuttle had landed in, but obviously we're even further away than the players this near side of the court, and obviously the Koreans were jolly close to it.
Challenge unsuccessful.
Well, they've made 2 challenges in the match so far, one in the opening game, one just now. Both of them have been wrong.
And the same, it's actually against the same linesman, and he's got them covered.
Yeah.
He's 2-0 up.
Oh,
Good shot.
brilliant backhand.
Service over. 4. 5.
Well, it's actually very difficult to keep that one straight. Made it look easy, but that's a difficult shot, I can assure you.
And there's a little bit of side drift as well. Not that it takes, makes a whole lot of impact on a shot like that. It's more like the lifts, the higher lifts, but still can take the wide.
Oh, my goodness.
That was not entirely the side drift.
No.
Oh, what a defense. What a touch he has from below the tape, Lee Yong-dae.
5.
This man did everything right. Another great backhand shot from Lee Yong-dae.
Oh,
7. 5.
well, the line judge was hesitant on that occasion.
But you helped him,
Helped
told him how he should
how he should
judge
call.
that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steen. No warning from the umpire, which I find odd.
They have to be careful now, the Indonesians.
8-5.
Yeah. Oh, maybe he broke a string and that's why he missed that shot.
Yeah, but 5 straight points for the world #1s.
But this is where I feel that the Indonesians, they they get a little bit sad, so to speak, here. And oh, why aren't we getting any points and so on? While the level of concentration and the intensity for the Koreans, they're more stable.
Yeah.
Throughout a match.
Yeah, there's another example of the sadness and the frustration. Look at this body language afterwards. Yeah, that's not so good. Seven straight points now.
Oh, what a great deception from Kevin Sanjaya.
So to the mid-game interval with a 5 points advantage. And once again, 8 of 9 points.
Court 1, 20 seconds.
But this is where the young Indonesians have really got to get themselves together mentally. And you saw from the early stages of the match, they've got the technicalities, they've got the variation of shot, where they've just lost their way.
And the important thing now is to keep the patience. When you're 5 points behind and a game down, you sometimes want to score points quickly. Whoa. Lost his stance there, Fernaldi. Yeah, you sometimes want to sort of catch your opponents quick. And if you do that, if you don't have the sufficient patience, then the opposite happens, that you just lose points even quicker.
Yeah, unbelievable. He looks so casual about the way he sort of does this little pirouette there. Look at that.
That was so incredibly quick.
Not only fleet of foot, but quick to see the opportunity. Look, he's going forward already. That's well judged. But it goes long. And it was long. Well, I said they needed to get themselves together mentally. They've done precisely that. Well done to them. Would you believe it? 5 points since the mid-game interval, and all 5 points for the Indonesians. They're back level. And now it's the lead. Well, Koreans want the shuffle change. The Indonesians say no.
But you got what he came for. The little interruption of the run of points for Fernaldi and Sukamuljo.
Yeah. And after that little interruption to the flow of play, they'll get their desired result at the end of the rally too. Oh my goodness. That's gone wrong. A great spectacular dive from Gideon, Markus, Fernaldi. Look at that, full length.
But very hard to control that shot when you're so much out of balance.
Yeah.
And playing with the drift, and yeah, he put it long. Very, very important to stay in balance in these windy conditions. Stay in balance, short racket movements, no big arm swings if you can avoid it. It takes your timing a little bit off the shot. Oi. Just hit the top of the net, that shot there. That one.
Yeah, they did awfully well to get that one back. The young day.
We often see returners hit the net in the service return, and that's actually something the players, they practice. They practice the return where you hit the tape and it tumbles over.
So what you're saying is it's not luck, it's practice skill.
Perhaps a bit of luck, but the more they practice, the luckier they get.
Yeah. Yeah, from this near side of the court, I guess you have to be awfully careful with these flat fast exchanges because of the drift, liable to do exactly what it did there, go long.
Exactly. If you're a little bit behind in the flat rallies, you've got to take the speed out of the shot. Good call. Good call. Oh,
Service ball call.
service fall called there.
Service over. 16-15.
It's the first of the match, isn't it?
I think also the first flick service of the match. Yeah. Too high. There's a tendency, in my opinion, that it gets harder and harder for the players to flick.
Yeah.
They get called a lot, but rightfully so, we can see. But what if it had been a short service? Would he be called then?
Yeah. Yeah, good judgment. Yeah, that's the drift. That ended up landing a long way long.
And we saw on some of the outer courts, in order to control the drift, they sit the players, they lift very, very high up under the roof, because it's so hard to hit a straight falling shuttle. So you can survive even though you don't have the correct length on your lift.
Well, the fans on their feet, some of them looking a little precarious there. That's a long drop down from where they were standing and jumping up and down.
Got a little bit too greedy. Yeon Seong could have just blocked it. Yeah. Good job by the Koreans getting the initiative on the service return.
Yeah, another error from that same round, the head position from Fernaldi. Two points away, the Koreans, from securing their place in the quarterfinal.
Bca Indonesia and the service judge Gideon Indonesia.
Oh, that was a good interception from Yeon Seong.
Service over. 20. Match point 17.
Yeah, they're wanting the court mopped before the first of their match point opportunities.
Thank you. Play.
Had a little slip in concentration just after the interval, the Koreans. Otherwise, I think they played a really, really good match. Made it difficult for Sukamuljo and Fernaldi.
It was the drop shot that did the damage.
It was.
And the Koreans, once again, playing themselves into difficulty because of the defensive stance, being so deep in court.
And especially the drop shots towards Seong, because he doesn't have exactly the same touch as Lee Young-dae has. So that opens up some possibilities, either for another drop shot or for a smash aimed at Yo as well.
Well, 2 of the 3 match points have come and gone. Just one more remains.
Players,
Can the
Korea.
Indonesians save a third? No, they can't. Well, I concur with Steen. Apart from that very slight slip in concentration after the mid-game interval, I think the Koreans looking very sharp indeed. I said right at the start, it's never easy playing against home players here in the Stora Senayan.
Match won by Lee Young-dae, Yo Jung-sung, 21-15, 21-9.
Look at that. The way they just put the pressure on. Keep on the attack. Take the shuttle early with those pushes down the sidelines. And that's exactly what the Koreans did. So safely through to the quarterfinal. 21-15, 21-19. And the quarterfinal will be a repeat of the 2014 World Championship final. Lee Young-dae and Yoo Young-sung through to the final. The 2014 champions here against the defending champions Go Sung-hyun and Shin Baek-chul. That's tomorrow's quarterfinal. So our next match is women's doubles. Vivian Hu and Woon Ki-wei of Malaysia up against the Indonesians, the number 2 seeds Gracia Poli and Nitya Krashinda Maheswari. Now obviously with the Indonesians being the number 2 seeds, this must be the bottom quarter of the draw, which unfortunately we're looking